There's a very good reason why the role of Freddy Wong scared the hell out of Ke Huy Quan. He almost didn't take part at all, and Michelle Yeoh had to be extremely careful to be respectful in her fight scenes. You've seen the magic, but today we're going to break down everything that went into making American-born Chinese. You may have loved Freddy Wong as the true hero of American-born Chinese. He didn't get quite as many cool scenes as some of the other characters, which we'll be breaking down in more detail soon, but he still tackled Asian stereotypes head-on, which was the reason why Quan actually passed on the role when he was first approached about it. He worried that this is the type of portrayal that we don't want to see in 2023. It wasn't until he had a conversation with the creative team that he realized you'd actually get to meet the actor who plays Freddy Wong and gain a better understanding of his struggle, playing an Asian stereotype on Beyond Repair. Quan thought this was very interesting and felt like being able to play a character like this was a bit like art imitating life.
I just wanted to be someone who goes on a journey.
American-born Chinese is packed with action. Still images were taken from the graphic novel and reimagined as fully choreographed fight scenes. They were trying to make the fight feel very authentic to Asian cinema and the Hong Kong style particularly.
I mean, you're gonna see crazy cool Hong Kong wire work.
Many of the stunt coordinators actually came from China.
And these people are as close to real-life superheroes as you've ever met.
Part of the Hong Kong style involves making the camera part of the stunt work, meaning that the camera is in there moving along with everybody, and the takes would often be longer.
It's so beautifully choreographed, you want to see it all.
As we're sure you can imagine, it's not easy to do, and can be very tiring for the cameramen. When it came to Michelle Yeoh's stunt work, however, things were done a little differently. Michelle Yeoh plays Guanyin, the goddess of mercy, and Michelle knew that if she was going to fill such big shoes, then she needed to be very respectful. She says that the goddess of mercy does not fight. She looks at you with love and compassion. And so, when it came time for her big showdown against Wu's bull demon, Guanyin fought back. But the choreographers made sure to stage it all so that she doesn't hit him or punch him, ever. Michelle explained that Guanyin's deflecting him. She's pushing him away, and that the entire time she needs to teach him a lesson or hopes that she can impart a lesson on him. That's pretty impressive, and if you think so too, then we're definitely recommending hitting that subscribe button. But she wasn't even the only famous figure from Chinese culture in the series. Are you familiar with Journey to the West? If you need a refresher, it's a classic of Chinese literature that follows the fictionalized account of a Buddhist monk's journey to India in the 7th century. It's been adapted into several movies of its own, and many of the mythological figures from American-born Chinese are brought straight out of Journey to the West, like the Monkey King, whose staff we'll be discussing very soon. And of course, Michelle's character is described as being from heaven, now part of Earth. Michelle was very happy with the way that our writers have brought her to a very modern place. But, above all, she was grateful for the chance to be able to tell these stories for friends over here that might not know, especially considering how widely beloved Journey to the West is in China.
Epic consequences.
For those of you familiar with Sun Wukong, this is a version of him like you've never seen before.
Because he's like a father, and he's like got responsibilities.
The Monkey King's staff plays a huge role in the show when it's stolen by his son, and the props department had a pretty big task on their hands if they wanted to get its size-changing abilities right. Multiple versions of the staff were built in different sizes so that they could be switched out between takes. Jimmy Liu had 3 weeks of stunt training just to learn how to use the staff, and he admits it was pretty hard. His hands would hurt afterwards because of how heavy the prop was, but he was happy with the results at the end of the day. Plus, it wasn't all just work and training before filming began. Do you have any special rituals? Michelle Yeoh does. Before a production, she likes to gather together everyone from the cast and crew and join them in a blessing ceremony. She clarifies that it's not a religious ceremony. The way she describes it, it's like, give us your blessings. Let us work here peacefully. Bless everyone who is on the project, and we will not disturb you too much. This is something that Michelle got very used to doing, working on productions in Hong Kong. Since then, she's taken this ritual to the set of American-born Chinese and Everything Everywhere All at Once. And everyone got pretty into it. Marvin Marr took to Instagram with the picture of the cast celebrating a blessing ceremony for a blessed show. That it sure was. And the characters had to look the part. Costume designer Joy Cretton didn't grow up with Journey to the West, like many of the cast and crew did. She had to rely on Sally Wu, another costume designer, to pass along the stories she'd heard from her grandmother growing up, so that the costumes could take influence from tradition.
We definitely pulled from tradition, but adding a new, fresh take on her.
As much as they wanted the characters to feel familiar to the audience, they also wanted to give us a fresh, high-fashion take on these beloved characters.
Like a couture fashion show.
The reward for most complicated makeup might have to go to Daniel Wu's Heaven Monkey King, which included being done up in full monkey prosthetics in a process that took around 3 hours.
I just see a monkey in the mirror, so it's pretty cool.
It was going to take a very special team to be able to get a story like this right, but you can really tell that everybody involved in the project cared a whole lot about it. Were you surprised to hear that Ke Huy Quan originally passed on the show? Or was there another behind-the-scenes detail that you found more shocking? Make sure to let us know what you think down in the comments section.